Okay. Hello friends, welcome to my fairy shed again and to my new vlog. I have recently got back from the Cannes Film Festival and I actually had to put out that last vlog about the fairy shed when I got back from Cannes. So now I've been back for a day or two and getting back to the sorting out of the garden and the house, and I have to say I really think possibly I have bitten off more than I can chew here. My aunt told me that houses have secrets and you don't know the secrets till you move into the house. And it's maybe not the end of the world, but if you watch my last video, you'll see that I had a whole huge bed of winter heliotrope, quite a toxic plant for cats, which I wanted to pull up, and I had pulled up almost all of it when I went away. However, and then I ordered some pine mulch to go on top of the heliotrope to just stop it from coming back. So, yeah, got back and I investigated the ground a bit more, and I saw that actually it was also covered with this sort of black weed fabric. If you're gardeners, you may have heard of this, and that there was quite a lot of pebbles and stuff on top of the weed fabric. Now, I think this weed fabric's been put down years and years ago, and obviously the heliotrope was growing through it, so it had stopped working. I'm not a big fan of this idea of weed fabric because, you know, it just doesn't seem very ecological to be putting down sheets of plastic on your garden. Okay, I'm going to have a sip of tea. Excuse me. This was the mug I got at Tiger on the reduction section a few weeks ago. It's a lovely mug, very comfortable handle, gorgeous. Yeah, so I then had to go away and investigate all about weed fabric, which I had never encountered before because my old garden was it had just slabs and pots of plants. So I've decided I don't want this weed fabric. I don't want to put down the mulch on top of the weed fabric because I feel, you know, I can't really take it up again and it's just a waste. I want the mulch to go into the ground and yada yada. So I've now started the process of lifting up that weed fabric and those stones, and with a lot of work later I have a big box of stones and I have little bits of weed fabric, and it's a long job and I think it will take me a while. I may have bitten off more than I can chew, but I will have to chew because I could not afford to pay someone to do this very painstaking and exhausting job. It's interesting because in other bits of the garden, like around the little patio area, there is, I think, weed fabric, and then there's the person who's had the garden, they've grown just one big foxglove at intervals. It's a bit weird. Yeah, but there, the weed fabric seems to have worked and still be going strong, and I notice I'm not so ecologically minded with that because if that's not broken, I'm not going to fix it. It's a bit weird though. I mean, to choose of all the plants you put up like foxgloves, which are homeopathic poisons, aren't they? You can't eat foxgloves and not without hurting yourself, though it's also used in medicine. And then this winter heliotrope also apparently was a homeopathic, or is a homeopathic plant, although some homeopathic plants are toxic poisons, but they're still useful in medicine. So maybe they were a homeopath, the person that had this house. I guess I'll never know. It's just a bit strange that you would choose to grow kind of ornamental foxgloves, but maybe it isn't. Maybe everybody does that and I just didn't know about it. So you'll see in my video that how I'm tackling that weed fabric, and that's probably going to keep me fit. So that's really good. I've also decided that I will actually let's look at that excerpt now. So, in the week since I lifted up most of that heliotrope, some of it has already grown back again. Wow, it's really pervasive. And my next job here in the garden will be removing this weed fabric. So I've not done that before. So I've got pine mulch to put down on top once I've removed the weed fabric and the heliotrope, and I've got a border fork to remove it, and hello Cookie, that's what I'm going to do basically. Hello Cookie, are you here? Good morning, or rather good afternoon. We're going to try and remove the weed fabric, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Okay, at that end of the garden, I couldn't actually really locate the black fabric enough. It was just coming up in tiny strips. But when I've come round to the base of the tree, I can see the black fabric quite clearly, and clearly there was a lot of stones around it, which was a bit bizarre to me. Anyway, so now I'm shoveling off the stones. Maybe I'll reuse them somewhere else. But I want to get rid of this black fabric and put down the pine mulch that I've bought. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So I'll just try and have another go at that. Okay, I've got a box here. Can't really do it one-handed, but that's what I'm up to now. So I am making some headway with the stones. I didn't know there'd be so many stones, but I guess that's what the landscaping of this garden was. Cookie is being very kind and sitting beside me while I do this job. A leaf landed on his head a minute ago. He was so sweet. So this fabric, it's just, you think you've pulled it off, and then there's another layer and another layer and another layer. Still, I just don't want it. This toxic weed was growing through it, so it's not working, and besides, I can't believe it's very ecologically friendly. So I've also decided I probably will get a lightweight lawnmower. One of the many other things I'm going to have to do in this garden is get the lawn down to size, but it's very overgrown, so I think I'll have to go around and chop off the long grass a bit with my hand first, because I think the lawnmower can only tolerate grass of a certain height, and I'm going to have to make sure I get a lightweight lawnmower, not a vacuum cleaner, because I'm not very strong, and I couldn't be hefting around a huge lawnmower, and besides which, it's not a huge lawn. So that's going to be another thing for me. I'm going to have to check the lawn also that there are no birds nesting. However, I have found, and Cookie's also very indignant about this, that this garden is actually, it's a kind of cat motorway. A lot of the stray cats come through this garden and indeed poop in this garden. Whether they'll continue to do that when they are aware of Cookie, I don't know. But I think, you know, maybe the cats are too smart to bother with the heliotrope. But what I'm saying is, I doubt there will be birds nesting on the ground in this garden because, hello Cookie, because there are a lot of cats passing around. But I will still check. I don't want to obviously hurt any birds, and that's kind of where I am. I've had my loft boarded since I got back. They did that the day after I came back, which was amazing, and I may put something about that into this video, or I may just make this video about the garden. But gosh, my aunt was right. Houses do have secrets. You really don't know till you're in them. But it is also rewarding, you know, to try and get the garden into shape. I've uncovered a great deal of the stone slabs on the path. I mean, because I think no one has worked in this garden for years. There's loads and loads of like dead leaves and sticks and bits of rubbish everywhere. And that's, you know, I'm clearing that away now. And I think eventually I'll have to get someone to come in and jet wash the path. I do have an aquatac, but I'm not sure where the garden tap is here, and I don't know what attachment I would need to attach my aquatac to their tap. I remember last time when I got an attachment for our old garden, it was quite a palaver. I had to go to Screwfix and ask them what attachment and blah blah blah. So I may on this occasion have to pay someone to come in and jet wash it, and you know, it's probably going to be a very big job. So there you go. That's kind of where I am today. I'll have some more tea. It's nice to have my nails done. I can, it's so glamorous. You have to have your nails done there, and I like having my nails done. I am pleased with my fairy shed. I think it's going to rain this afternoon, so I don't know if much gardening is going to be possible, but I will try and move some of the wood, I think I'll show you that stuff now, round to the front to be picked up by the council, because I don't think I could take it to the dump on foot. It's just all a bit big. So I'll do that, and gosh, what else? I won't be able to paint the outside of the shed today, but maybe tomorrow if it's sunny, I will try and put some paint on the outside of the shed. I also have a really pretty horrendous old barbecue that I think, again, it must be very old. I'm not really a barbecue person unless someone else is doing it all, preferably a professional barbecuer. So I would never be using this old barbecue, and I really wish that the people I bought it from had taken it with them. I think I just assumed they would take away everything that was theirs, but they didn't. So I will be getting rid of that. And there's also an old gas bottle there too. And I think the recycling centre have said they won't take away an old gas bottle, so I really don't know. Maybe I'll have to phone the gas bottle company and have them take that away. So yeah, that's kind of where I am. So thank you for watching. I hope this will be an interesting video, and I'll find some cute things to do, not just all kind of a bit yucky. At least it's nice weather. And I'm really hoping by the end of the summer I will have the garden looking a lot better, and that I will have enjoyed this fairy shed like I am today. I'm just enjoying having my tea, and yeah, that's really nice. I think now I'm going to pick a fairy card and we'll see what I get. So here we go. We had the one about family last time. So the kind of cards I have are called the fairy dust cards. That looks back to front. So just take them out and pull one. These are just, I think they're very harmless cards. I know people can get very kind of very hung up on cards and laying too much importance on them, but these are very cute. They're all just very positive messages. Okay, I've picked one. Okay, here's my little kind of pumpkin patch. There's a bit of Halloween all year here. And it says, my goodness, be strong. When trouble seems to be brewing near, your inner strength will keep you clear. Just what I said about all these messages being positive. I don't think there's trouble brewing. And I will actually look and see if any trouble happens to be brewing. I would say that I am in a bit of a mess in my house. I mean, it's really needing to, I'm needing to sort a lot of things out, and I am hoping that by getting the shed, hello, I just turned around again. I am hoping that by getting the loft floor put in of that eave space, that a lot of my mess and confusion will be sorted by that. But I realise that, you know, that won't be enough in itself. It's just a bit of a process, you know, getting your house organised. And once again, I'm so grateful to be here. And so, yeah, I will think about that fairy card in the next few days. And I think I will have some work over the weekend. So maybe after the weekend, I will come back and I will tell you if any trouble did brew. But hopefully it won't. I hope it's going to be a nice week. If I would say, funnily enough, that the card says be strong. I am having to be strong because I really am. I was pretty shocked by the difficulty of pulling up that weed fabric. I mean, I know it sounds like a very trivial matter, but it is harder than it looks. And I think I'll have to do it piece by piece. I can't do it, you know, all in a oneer. Though it's amazing when you put your mind to it how much you can accomplish. Yes, I've cleared quite a bit, and I'll try and show you a bit what I've done so far when I go outside of the shed. I'm just going to enjoy my tea even on for a second. Okay, here is the big bag of leaves and sticks and stuff that I cleared away from this area here yesterday. Here's my really horrible big dirty barbecue, probably a health hazard. And then this area here is actually all slabs, but it was so covered up with vegetation and leaves and stuff, I didn't know these were slabs. It's a bit like being an explorer. And then here is, you know, you can see all these pebbles they've put here. Yeah, and then the weed fabric's all around it, so that's going to be a big job, just gradually peeling that off. But, you know, maybe if I just keep going at it, suddenly it will come through. And then here's the big box of stones that I've gathered so far. I mean, what do you do with a huge box of stones that you don't want? It's difficult. Yeah. Well, all these joys lie ahead. And then finally, here is like wood, branches, bags, in addition to the broken down fence over there, that I will now try to move over to the front of the house for the council to collect. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, these bits of trellis possibly I could use. Maybe I could put them against the fence to be a bit of privacy. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think the rain is about to rain, so I better shut up the shed. So here we are in the fairy trail at Audley End Miniature Railway. It's absolutely beautiful. Here's a little sign for the flower fairies. These fairies are happiest when flowers bloom in spring. They water all their potted plants and then they dance and sing. That's beautiful. Look at the flowers that they've done. I mean, this is so beautiful. I do feel the fairies would approve. I'm going to try now and zoom into the fairies in the house. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I've got to come back to Audley End, and because it's kind of a flying visit today, I must come back and see everything here because it's just charming. The sound of the nature and bird song and everything, it's beautiful. And here's another little fairy house here. Oh, it's a little fairy watering can. Oh, and a pink dress fairy. Pink dress is always good. Beautiful. And then I'll just go round to the last fairy house in this little enclosure. And it's also looking so cute. Okay. It looks like a kind of daisy fairy. And she's got some flower bulbs on her. She's going to do some planting. Absolutely charming. Well, this fairy lover has to come back here. Just wish I had a bit more time to sort of see everything, but no, it's wonderful. And they even have some fairy wind chimes up there. What more could you ask for? The fairies will approve. Doing my garden painting and work today. I got a little one of these cakes from Greg's last night. I got home late from work, and so I'm going to have that now. To tell you the truth, that garden's in such a mess. I wish I could take a space rocket out of here, but it'll be nice when it's finished. This yellow tablecloth I recently bought at the Cannes Film Festival, and I got some napkins to match. So from the first time I went to Cannes, which was like about 2016, I wanted one of these Provence tablecloths, and now I've got one, so that's nice. And here's some little sweets they gave out at Cannes one day. Be sweet. And then these are, I think, pretzels from the Playmaker Munich. Must have been like the German pavilion. And they gave out these in the British Film Pavilion. I think they are ear blockers. They block out noise. So that's cute. Just some little odds and ends. Yes, here's a resurrection plant I wanted to get for Easter, but it came too late for Easter. So maybe this video or next video I will take out my resurrection plant, and that will be nice. But now it is time to sink my teeth into my Greg's cake. Okay. So today is nice and sunny, but apparently the next 4 days are going to be rainy. So for the next 4 days, I'm planning on getting some order into my front room. I got the bookcases put in after I moved in, and yeah, I just was so sick of the cardboard boxes, I just sort of slung everything in. But I really want to reconfigure this room and the things that I've got. Ooh, this is embarrassing. It's so messy. It's not dirty, it's messy, it's messy. So today, I won't start it today, but this is what I'm doing, and I'm doing it while there's some sun coming through the windows. I do like these linen curtains. I put those up because I don't like nets, and the view out of the front is not very pretty, so I don't mind kind of not seeing it. But today, yes, this is one of the last days that my room's going to look like this, but I do have some flowers, some carnations, so those are nice. And I'm probably going to keep that picture there, but we'll see. I'm going to paint the fireplace as well. Yes, I'm not keen on grey. Okay, this is going to be all change. Hello friends, it's another day. I'm out in the garden. I've had a look at the summer house shed. I think I may only be able to paint the front of it right away because there's so much plant and vegetation at the sides. That's going to be a big job getting rid of some of that, but I will just try to be content with painting the front. I see there's a lot more spiders, there's a lot more ivy, so the front maybe is going to be all I can manage for the time being. But still, it's something, and I will now just try and prepare the surface and do my first coat of paint. You see here, there's trails of ivy everywhere, and I love ivy. I think it's very romantic and kind of, it's kind of haunting looking, but I don't think I can paint the outside of the shed with bits of ivy there, so I'm going to have to remove some of it, which is another job. My friend told me it would take a lot of work and money to do this garden, and my goodness, she was right, but I will just sooner begun, sooner finished. Okay, so now it's a bit later and I've got away the ivy stalks really in the main, but there are these little ivy grippy things left over, so now I have got like some scrubbing brush and some soapy water, and I'm hoping to just scrub them off and then do some paint. What a palaver. Okay, now I've started to put some of that fresh paint over the dirty cream paint, and it's looking better. When I saw that ivy sticking on the wood, it just seemed impossible to get it done. But I will quickly just go over here, and here, you know, I have largely got the ivy off. Up here, it's proved more difficult, but I will be content with just doing the cream bit today. And yeah, sufficient under the day. So here I've now cut off some of the long grass to be quite a bit shorter, and I'm going to try to bring on the lawnmower. Lord help us all. Here is my lawnmower, which I will remove from Cookie. It was £40 on clearance in B&Q, and yeah, I mean, obviously I'm far away from having a lawn, but I mean, apparently you can't put down new turf till like late autumn anyway, so I'll just try and tidy this bit up as much as I can, and I really hope my lawnmower is okay. Right, have a go. So, quick update, my first ever lawnmower did not work at all. I'm going to phone B&Q first thing in the morning and just see if there's something incredibly basic I've not done to make it work, but I think it doesn't work. I mean, there's just no power cutting through at all. So I will have to take it back, I think. So that was a bit of a waste of time. However, onward. Good morning, friends. Here I am. It's the saga of the lawnmower. I tried to mow the lawn the other day. I showed you I had my lawnmower out, and it just didn't go. It just didn't go. And I plugged it into an extension cable, tested the extension cable with something else, and it worked. So I thought, well, the lawnmower's not working. Today I have plugged the lawnmower into the wall socket directly, because yesterday was raining and I didn't think I could try and mow, and it did actually go off and seemed to be working fine for a few minutes. Then I paused and now it's not going on again. So I'm not very sure what the problem is. I mean, I'll now turn around and show you the little bit that I did manage to mow. Okay, so here you go. This is the bit that has actually been mowed by the mower, and then this is the kind of long grass, which is what the rest of it looked like, which I must say now looks a lot prettier than this kind of stubby bare patch. But yeah, okay, I mean, I just well, eventually I can get proper lawn put down, but I don't know why the lawnmower keeps kind of going on and off. That's just really weird, and maybe I'll phone Bosch and ask them what they think. Okay, right. So also I have an update on the fairy shed. I did put a coat of paint all over the front, and if I go up to this bit here and then I go to the side, you can see, well, maybe you can sort of see the difference in quality. The front looks a lot cleaner looking, and then I've also painted these bottom panels kind of cream. I've sort of reversed what was there. I've made the cream bit pale green and then the green bit cream. I'm still waiting for the perspex to come to put into the windows, and apparently what I need is strong vinegar to remove these bits of ivy. And if you'll remember, I did put vinegar onto my shower head a few weeks ago in another video. Now I cannot find that canister of vinegar, but I know I put it away safely somewhere, so I think this bit of the shed might have to wait until I've located my vinegar again. So that's a bit annoying, but at least there is an answer, and I will keep going with the rest of it. So yes, that's where we are. It's a beautiful morning, although my garden's a mess. But apparently it will be raining for the next couple of days after this. So I've started tidying up the books in the sitting room, and I'll show you a little bit of that. And then I think I'll do another coat on the front of the shed. Then I'm going to have a cup of tea in the shed and show you some few little fairy things I got in the miniature railway at the fairy trail in Audley End. Okay, I'm going to get my paint now. Okay, let's do a little bit more of the cream trim. I am a bit surprised, about the lawnmower, not working. It's sort of like, in this world you feel entitled that when you plug something in it will work, but it didn't. Oh well, there you go. Say, I ended up taking the lawnmower back to B&Q because it just didn't go off at all, and of course it worked in the shop, so that was embarrassing, and they were very nice about it, but I sincerely thought there must be something wrong with it, and there wasn't. So there you go. Painting, it's very soothing. It's a lovely morning. What a day. Yes, so yeah, I look out over my garden, and I think now I'm going to go and have a cup of tea and bring it to the fairy shed. Hello friends, well, a break at last. I'm here in my shed. I noticed some of the spiders have returned. But there you go. I guess it's their shed as well. I'm very happy I feel very happy that I have this garden. I've gone on and on about this weed fabric a lot in this vlog, and I'm sorry, but I will get to the bottom of it. And it's been very nice today because I did manage to excavate those paving stones and to find out what lay beneath. And I think, the good thing about having a really messy garden is it can only get better. So, yeah, I'm going to have my tea now. And I think maybe I'll just do one more post and then we'll finish for today. So, here we are, back in the fairy shed having a break. What a relief. I'll just show you a couple of items. Oh, those have got a bit out of place. Yes. I'll show you a couple of items that I got at the Audley End Railway when I went to that beautiful fairy trail. First of all, of course, you knew I was going to get a fridge magnet, and it's just so cute. It'll go on the fridge, and that's lovely. Miniature Audley End Railway. Will that go on my tin? Oh, yep, it went on the tin. Cool. Finally, I was very restrained, and they had many beautiful fairy dolls at the Audley End gift shop. It was just gorgeous. But I restrained myself and just got this little sleeping leaf baby. So I thought that was really cute. And yeah, I will find a nice place for him to go in this shed. And then finally, maybe I will pull another fairy card. Okay, so Earlier this week I pulled Be Strong, and I must say it's been quite a frustrating week with the weed fabric. I will not mention it again in this video. It's finished. And also the lawnmower seeming to work, then not working, and me taking it back to B&Q when actually it worked. Oh, okay, I'll have to phone Bosch now. But my new card says gratitude. Oh, it's a bit out of focus. Okay. It says, hang on. Everything will be all right. Fairies dance in your delight. Gratitude. Well, it's certainly very important to have gratitude, because that really builds and it means you can have more and more. So good to remember. I'll try and go back to having a gratitude book, I think, and every night say what I am grateful for, which is many, many things. So I think it's going to rain for the next 4 days, so I will enjoy the rest of today in the garden. And yeah, I will have gratitude. I think this morning I'm going to try and tidy up this little landscaped area, get the dead leaves and things away, tidy it up, because I'm obviously not making any headway with my lawnmower. I will be phoning Bosch. So there you go. So it's now a couple of hours later, and I have picked up quite a lot of weeds here. It's a very strange little area. I mean, that's the big bag of weeds I've pulled up. I've discovered that, you know, there are these shrubs. Then there's this bramble, which I think is a weed. Like there's this lovely bush here. There's a nice shrub here. There's the grey stones. Then I've discovered that the fabric, weed fabric ends like about here. And then there's a flower bed here, or supposed to be. And then this is actually paving slabs. And then I think we go into a flower bed again. So yeah, I'm kind of excavating what this garden was, because it was just covered with rubbish and leaves, and there's thousands of these tiny twigs. I don't maybe all gardens just have these tiny twigs, but there are thousands of them. Okay. So it's the end of the day, and I have sort of tidied up this little patch. You can now see the slabs at the back. I didn't keep those brambly things in the end. I pulled them up. I thought they were weeds. And now the shrubs are a bit clearer. And I put down some more soil. And yeah, I think that these, is it a laurel bush? I think it's overgrown. I think it does need to be pruned back a bit. Yeah, I think I will have to do that. But I've cleared that space, and then I've kind of taken away weeds from the side there. And I think I have a rose bush somewhere there. Let me go over to it. Yes, I do think this is a rose bush, and I mean, there's no sign of a bud yet, but it would be lovely if I had some roses coming up. Maybe I should get something to stake up this bush, or a little kind of dome thing to put on it to help it grow. But that was nice. And here, you know, it's still just more mess, and the bit I did manage to do with the lawnmower. And yeah, I mean, it still looks awful, but to me it's slowly improving. And the front of the shed, I've done a few coats on that now, and it looks a bit clinical, I think, but it did need to be painted, so maybe it will weather in a bit. And I will need to cut back that bush a bit in order to paint the sides. So, and yes, so this bit is a bit tidier, and I've ordered some more. This is apparently green slate. I've ordered a bag of green slate from eBay. It looks blue, but it is actually green. I went and checked it. So that's coming, and then yeah, I'll put down some more slate on this bit that's a bit thin looking. And then I have an owl there, which was left here, which is quite sweet. And perversely, I still want to take away all the stones that are over here, although I want my grey slate over behind me that I just showed you. So yeah, it's just a work in progress. And there's my horrible barbecue. I will need to call the gas bottle company and have them come and take the bottles of gas away. Then I have to get rid of the barbecue, get the council to take it away. All this joy. Okay, but it's going to be nice in the end. Okay, well, there's a little update on the sitting room. I have tidied up these shelves on the right-hand side, grouped them together in sort of fairly reasonable categories of art and like old sort of classic books and encyclopedias. And so that's made me feel really good. I mean, it's a tiny amount of what I need to do, but it's a start. That's really good. And if it does rain for the next few days, this is what I will be doing. So the rest of the room is chaosa, but this is starting to improve. Okay, it's the end of the day, and I normally try to work until about 7 o'clock, but today I'm just knackered from the garden, though it was a lovely day. So I'm having a pastel del nata and a cup of tea, but I have an unusual treat tonight because I'm seeing the new Beetlejuice movie on DVD for the first time. When it came out, I was just very busy with selling the house and stuff, and I just, I couldn't, I didn't feel I could go and see it. So I'm going to see that tonight. But the really exciting thing is, where's my DVD cover? There it is. Right. My friend, I've got a friend who's one of the dancers in Beetlejuice, so I'm hoping I can spot him. I think he's in the cafe scene, so I have a special kind of connection to the movie. So I think in my next vlog I'll tell you what I thought of Beetlejuice. I'm sure I'm going to love it, but it's almost finished for today, I think. Hello friends, well yes, I think I'm going to end the vlog today here. It was a very rambly vlog all about my garden and my this and that, and I'm really sorry. I hope it was bearable. I will now settle down and watch Beetlejuice. I got a Beetlejuice handbag last autumn and I really wore it all the time, but now I'm finally going to see the sequel to Beetlejuice, which is the first one I always loved. So in my next vlog I'll tell you what I thought of Beetlejuice 2, and now I'm just going to relax and have a nice evening, and I hope you do too, and thank you very much for watching to the end of this vlog.